Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So we are going to continue reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 6, chapter 16. Would anyone like to say
Hare
what they
Krishna.
read?
Yes.
Hare Krishna.
Yeah. So we heard more about the elements, his energies from Lord Anantadev saying to Citraketu that um, all are his energies, all the elements are his energies, and that all the conditions of deep sleep, dreaming, and wakefulness, remembrance, knowledge, and forgetfulness are his energies, Brahman. He gives the ability. He is inside each one of us as Paramatma. We may use elements for our maintenance, but it belongs to him. He is the real enjoyer, original creator, Bhagwan. As living entities, we have subtle dreams at night. Similarly, we live in this material world in gross dreams, identifying ourselves with bodily expansions attached to material possessions. But it's too going to pass as it's Maya. Different positions, various forms, all are his creations of the illusory energy and working under his direction. Uh, he's the original ultimate actor. He facilitates based on our desires. So through him, we can understand the dream conditions and happiness beyond senses of material activities and material modes. He's, he's the knowing factor. We're in knowledge as we're qualitatively one with Krishna, Sachidanand, but eternally minute, unchangeable. Supreme Lord is unlimited. And thinking different from the Lord, identifying ourselves with body, we forget. Taking up different bodies, giving up one, taking another, and so birth and death keeps happening. And we forget our constitutional position that we are his part and parcel, eternally minute, spirit souls as the servants of the Lord. So when one thinks we're non-different in all respects from the Supreme Lord, there is no doubt he is ignorant. Then we also heard about simply understanding Krishna. One understands Brahman, Paramatma, illusory energy, spiritual energy, and everything is revealed to us slowly. There is ultimate realization. And the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Krishna, is the most perfect Mahatma. We should never forget the Lord. Hence, we should always remember Krishna, constantly chant Hare Krishna mantra, do all the duties thinking of him. Always stay in consciousness and act favorably for his pleasure, which is the process to perfection of life. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you so much. Well, Lord Krishna, he's the Paramatma, and Mahatma is one who surrenders to Krishna.
Okay.
Krishna says
Yes.
in the Bhagavad Gita, one who surrenders to me is a Mahatma, a great soul.
Okay.
Lord
Hare
Krishna
Krishna.
is the Paramatma. Yes, thank you so much.
Awesome.
Thank you.
Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. So going on, 58. Lab Labdveha Manushim Yonim
Labdveha manushim yonim
Jnana Vijnana Sambhavam
ज्ञान
jnana
विज्ञान
vijnana
संभव
sambhavam
Atmanam Yona Buddhyeta
आत्मानं
atmanam yona
बुद्धितः
buddhyeta
Na Kvachit Shemam Apnuyat.
न
na
क्वचित्
kvachit
क्षेमम्
shemam
आप्नुयात्
apnuyat.
Translation and purport by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. A human being can attain perfection in life by self-realization through the Vedic literature and its practical application. This is possibly especially for a human being born in India, the land of piety. A man who obtains birth in such a convenient position but does not understand his self is unable to achieve the highest perfection, even if he is exalted to life in the higher planetary systems. So in the Perpetual Prabhupada is mentioning this statement is confirmed in Caitanya Caritamrita Adilila 941. Lord Chaitanya said, Bharata Bhumi te haila manushya janmaya. Janma sarthaka kari kara para opaka. Everyone born in India, especially as a human being, can achieve the supreme success through the Vedic literature and its practical application in life. When one is perfect, he can render a service for the self realization of the entire human society. This is the best way to perform humanitarian work. So, here Lord Ananta is telling Chitraketu Maharaj, one who was born in India, he can very easily become self realized. He studies the scriptures and follows the instructions that are mentioned in the scriptures, and one can get self realization. That's why Prabhupada calls it science of self realization. That you can practically apply the knowledge. And when the knowledge is practically applied, one will be self realized. So Prabhupada is saying this is also said by Lord Chaitanya. Lord Chaitanya said that who is born in India uh, should make his life successful. And then Prabhupada is saying that one who becomes successful then doesn't just stop there. He gives Krishna consciousness to others, the highest humanitarian work, best welfare activity to, to help everyone else also to get self-realized.
Hare
So
Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
So I just wanted to share something. I don't know if you remember the last time when I went to India, I had lots of things back home. Uh, my mom is alone, dad passed, my mother-in-law is alone, father-in-law has passed, and quite a few things, used to keep me occupied. And because I was juggling through both of them, going to see her also and attending to my mother-in-law also. And then I was kind of, oh my God, so much is happening here. And I think I even came back and told you that, it's so peaceful here and I can actually attend to the reading and stay in consciousness. But, eventually now after reading, I realized when we are reading this one in India, uh, it's not just that we are exposed to the scriptures and studying there, but this is so true. Practically applying the knowledge is one thing that we can actually try and do it in India, because that is the challenge I feel. I think I'm going to try and do that. That's the challenge, when we are in between so many things, we have to still endure to, stay in consciousness. And that's the biggest challenge. If we can do there, we can do it here. So, so hopefully that helps. I pray for your blessings and Srila Prabhupada's blessing. I'm so thankful to him. It's such an interesting knowledge we are getting from this chapter, Amazing. I'm blessed to hear this before I'm leaving for India. Yeah.
Thank you. Thank
Yes.
you for
Hare
that.
Krishna.
Yeah, sure. It's true. In India nowadays, it becomes really challenging.
But
But
it's good,
also,
I feel.
yeah,
Yeah.
because what happens is also but the association. But we can
Yeah.
see that in India, we can see how so many more and more people are joining the Krishna consciousness movement. You
Yes.
know how the movement is spreading so fast over there. So many people are being attracted to take up
Yes.
Krishna
Yes,
consciousness.
and I don't know if I shared this with you. My very neighbors, they are all ISKCON devotees, all of them. When they were looking for a daughter-in-law, they have one son. They were only looking for the one who is devotee. So they are Sindhis also. They got him married after years, looking for the right person, for him. And they finally got him married to a Bengali from Calcutta. And they're so blessed and happy. They keep doing everything from morning to evening. When I get up in the morning, I finish your reading. Sometimes I used to do, and I used to go. We have a rooftop where we can meet, and then their rooftop is very attached to my home also. So when I go outside, the whole family is sitting outside chanting, including the daughter-in-law, and they follow all the rituals. Amazingly, I'm blessed to have them next to me while I'm also doing this all. But I never, kept in touch with all these things. I used to see them and I used to be amazed at why they are waiting to find a daughter-in-law only a ISKCON devotee. But now I realize why they really wanted, after reading so much. So yeah, association was so important even then, and now I realize the importance of it. So I feel blessed to have them next to me now.
Very
Like,
good. So you're gonna have
yeah,
good association there too. Yeah.
yes, yes,
Yeah.
yes,
So wishing you very safe and happy travels.
yeah. Thank you.
Okay. So Smrit Vehayam Pariklesham
Smritvehayam pariklesham
Tata Phala Viparyayam
ततः
tata phala
फलविपर्ययम्
viparyayam
Abhayam Chapi Anihayam
अभयं
abhayam
चापि
chapi
अनिहायम्
anihayam
Sankalpad Viramet Kavi.
सङ्कल्पात्
sankalpat
विरमेत्
viramet
कविः.
kavihi.
Remembering the great trouble found in the field of activities performed for fruitive results, and remembering how one receives the reverse of the results one desires, whether from material actions or from the fruitive activities recommended in the Vedic literatures. An intelligent man should cease from the desire for fruitive actions, for by such endeavors one cannot achieve the ultimate goal of life. On the other hand, if one acts without desires for fruitive results, in other words, if one engages in devotional activities, he can achieve the highest goal of life with freedom from miserable conditions. Considering this, one should cease from material desires. So here there is directly Lord Ananta is saying what to do. Give up material desires, he's saying, because material desires are just going to bring uh, misery. Sure, there is enjoyment in the material world. That's the reason we are still here. But that enjoyment is very flickering, very, for a very short time. And with that comes a lot of misery also. So here, Lord Ananta is saying, engage in devotional service and become happy. Sukhaya dukkha mokshaya
सुखाय
Sukhaya
दुःखाय
dukkha
मोक्षाय
mokshaya
kurvate dampati kriyaha
कुर्वाते
kurvate
भवते
dampati
क्रियाः
kriyaha
tato nivritir apraptir
tato
ततो
nivritir apraptir
दुःखस्य च सुखस्य च
दुःखस्य
dukhasya cha
सुखस्य
sukhasya cha.
च
As husband and wife, a man and woman plan together to attain happiness and decrease unhappiness, working jointly in many ways. But because their activities are full of desires, these activities are never a source of happiness and they never diminish distress. On the contrary, they are a cause of great unhappiness. So here Lord Ananta is saying that one desires happiness. Of course, that's the reason we are working. You know, we may be following the rules and regulations of the scriptures, yet just being in the material world, there is suffering. Prabhupada would say that if you go to the salt mine, what is the taste you're going to get? If you're in a salt mine, what is the taste that one will get?
Salt,
Yeah,
salt.
salt. That's it. That's all that you can taste when you're in the salt mine. Similarly, this material world, it is the nature of this world that there is suffering here. So here Lord Ananta is saying you rather engage in devotional service, change your desire. He's saying give up material desire and change of desire. So evam viparyayam buddhva
एवं
Evam viparyayam
विपद्यबुद्ध्या
buddhva
nirnam vigyabhimaninam
निर्णपं
nirnam
विद्यामिमानिनाम्
vidyabhimanina
atmanascha gatim sukshmam
आत्मनश्च
atmanascha
गतिं
gatir
सूक्ष्माम्
sukshma
स्थानत्रय विलक्षणाम्
स्थानत्रय
anatraya
विलक्षणाम्
vilakshanam
Drishta Shrutabhir Matrabhir
दृष्टसुताभिमात्राभिः
Nirmukta Svena Tejasa
निर्मुक्ता
Nirmukta
स्वर्ण
svena
तेजसा
tejasa
Jnana Vijnana Santripto
ज्ञान
jnana
विज्ञान
vijnana
संतृप्तो
santripto
Madbhakta Purusho Bhave.
मद्भक्तः
Bhakta
पुरुषो
purusho bhavi.
One should understand that the activities of persons who are proud of their material experience bring only results contradictory to those such persons conceive while awake, sleeping, and deeply sleeping. One should further understand that the spirit soul, although very difficult for the materialist to perceive, is above all these conditions, and by strength of one's discrimination, one should give up the desire for fruitive results in the present life and in the next. Thus, becoming experienced in transcendental knowledge, one should become my devotee. So, I don't know if you all have any experience that, at least I've had many times, that, I may do something expecting that I'm going to get a particular result and I'm going to enjoy in a particular way. But many times, the opposite happens and leads me to great suffering. I don't know if you all have had the
Yes,
experience.
this happens a lot.
Yes,
Yes, Hare Krishna.
it
Yeah.
used to, and
All
now not anymore. Not anymore because now we are doing everything, keeping him in mind. Do we have to really do it? Yeah, but
So
it
that's
used to.
good.
It used to.
Mm.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
No, but
really good.
still, sometimes, Shilpa-ji, it happens with me still sometimes. Still,
Uh,
it still happens because sometimes we know that Krishna is there, but we still expect that if you desire so, if you desire, my desire is still there. But I always add that if you desire so, but
mm,
that is still there.
very good.
That, oh Krishna, can it happen like if you desire so? This is what, because it is sometimes we are human. How can that? I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't know if it is right or wrong,
yeah,
but
we are in a
I just
human
always
body.
add that, like how Prabhupada always says, just add if you desire so, Krishna,
Yeah.
Radharani, if you desire so. But the desire is still there, yes.
Mm, yeah. So, yeah. So then, as we heard in the previous verse, the Lord is saying, now engage more and more in devotional service. Yeah, it's true. We have material desires. What to do? We still continue to worship Krishna. And as you said, Krishna as you desire. So, yeah. And here,
And there is
Lord,
also this one more beautiful thing that Prabhupada said, that just offer the result at his lotus feet.
yeah.
You remember we also mentioned that we should offer the result at his lotus feet no matter what. That I just, in the morning when we pray, we can just say that I offer all the result at your lotus feet. I don't know. Because then at least he's there and we'll not get the activities result. So if we
Yeah,
offer it at his lotus feet.
yes. Thank you. Yes, Krishna himself is saying in Bhagavad Gita that do karma yoga because we cannot stop doing karma. But he's saying do karma yoga. Yes, thank you. So here Lord Ananta is saying, become my devotee. Where else have you heard Krishna says, become my devotee?
In Bhagavad Gita,
Yeah, yeah. Do you remember the specific words?
is it that Sarva Dharma Parityagya Mam Ekam Sharanam Braja?
That is
No.
surrender to me. So that's
Surrender, okay.
indirectly. That's
Manmana.
indirect.
Manmana Bhagavad
Manmana.
Bhakti.
That's right.
Bhakti Mam Namaskuru. Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. He's directly saying, become my devotee. So here Ananta Shesh is saying, become my devotee. Give up. You're the soul. You're just suffering for no reason. Okay, thank you. Etavan eva manujer.
Tavan eva manuje.
Yoga nepunya buddhi bhi.
Yoga naipunya buddhi.
Swartha sarvatmana gyeyo.
Swartha
Swarthatmanageyo
Yat paratmaika darshanam.
Yat
Paratmaika darshan.
Paratmatmadarshanam.
Persons who try to reach the ultimate goal of life must expertly observe the Supreme Absolute Person and the living entity who are one in quality in their relationship as part and whole. This is the ultimate understanding of life. There is no better truth than this. So here the Lord is saying, the living entity, my part and parcel, says the same thing in Bhagavad Gita, Mamavam Sajiva Loke, that the living entities are my part and parcel. Here Lord Ananta Shesh is also saying, the living entity are my part and parcel. Quality is the same, quantity completely different. The Supreme Lord is the complete whole. Tvam etat shraddhaya rajan
Tvam et shraddhaya rajan
apramato vacho mama
apramato vacha mama
jnana vijnana sampanno
dhyana vijnana
Vijnana
sampanno
sampanno
dharayan ashu siddhyasi.
dharayan
Rayan
ashu siddhati.
asiddhyasi.
O King, if you accept this conclusion of mine, being unattached to material enjoyment, adhering to me with great faith, and thus becoming proficient and fully aware of knowledge and its practical application in life, you will achieve the highest perfection by attaining me. So here the Lord is saying, get unattached to material enjoyment, follow what I'm telling you. Hear the knowledge, now you have the knowledge, now practically apply it in life, and you'll get my association, highest perfection by attaining me. So one may say, well, I have so many material desires. What do I do? I'm not able to give up material enjoyment. I'm in the material world. I have a material body and I'm attached to material enjoyment. Here the Lord is saying this, what to do? Well, we can pray. We can pray to the Lord that please take away my material desires. Please let my only desire be to engage in pure devotional service. We can desire to engage in pure devotional service. And that is a pure desire. That is a spiritual desire. We may not be there as yet, but we can desire to be there. And that is a pure desire. Shishuka Vacha
Srishuka uvacha
Ashvasya Bhagavan Itham
ashvasasya bhagavan itham
Citraketum Jagadguru
Citraketu
Citraketu
jagadguru
Jagadguruhu
Pashyatastasya Vishvatma
pashyastastasya
Tasya
atma
Vishwa
Tatash Chantardade Hari.
tatah cha antardhi harihi.
Sri Sukadev Goswami continued, after thus instructing Citraketu and assuring him of perfection in this way, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who is the Supreme Spiritual Master, the Supreme Soul Sankarshan, disappeared from that place as Citraketu looked on. Thus, in the Bhaktivedanta purports of the 6th canto, 16th chapter of the Srimad Bhagavatam, entitled King Citraketu Meets the Supreme Lord. So, Lord Sankarshan, he is the original spiritual master, the Adi Guru, because Lord Balaram is the Adi Guru. And he's being called the Paramatma, because the Paramatma is his expansion of Lord Sankarshan. So, any comments, realizations anyone wanted to share now that we finished this chapter where Citraketu meets the Lord, offers prayers, and then the Lord is speaking to Citraketu, giving him further knowledge.
Hare Krishna. So
Hare Krishna.
now this chapter, it motivates us all the more, reassuring us, when Lord Anantadev himself is saying to Chitraketu, the transcendental knowledge, constantly chant, continue to chant. This really helps a lot, a lot. He's revealing a lot when we keep doing. He reassures every time. So we have to stay motivated. We have to keep our, keep ourselves in understanding how it is helping us, and not wait, for the reality to hit us. Let's not go through that unnecessary suffering when we have already got this knowledge. Don't wait for the reality to hit. Don't, because this is not going to make us really feel good. We already saw how Chitraketu was so hurt when his son came and told him about the knowledge that I don't know you. I don't know you as parents. So such things may come. We may have to face, the reality. Let's not wait for it. And we are here reading. So we should understand, or we already know that we are here for, elevating ourselves. So continue to chant a lot, as much as you can do. And do everything in his pleasure. Like we are reading, Anantadev kept saying everything is his, it's all his creation. We have already read about his energies, so think of him all the time. And yeah, give everything at his lotus feet. Just whatever it is, whatever comes, just leave it to him. And trust him. Have faith in him. Interesting knowledge. I mean, the last chapter was something that was really very enlightening. Very good. Hare Krishna.
Thank you. Thank
Hare
you.
Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
I just learned that always remember Krishna and never forget Krishna. That was the most beautiful line. What you mentioned last time, that always remember Krishna and never forget Krishna. And how can we remember Krishna? Prabhupada said, and I still remember that Prabhupada said that, how can we remember Krishna? There is so much to do we have. But then he said that, never mind, just do it as your duty and keep him in center. Even if you are cooking, then chant and do things for his pleasure. So this was the best part.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you so much.
And sorry for the disturbance. It was Rohit just did his puja, so he just blew his conch shell. So sorry. Yeah.
Oh, conch shell is good. I didn't actually, honestly, I didn't hear it, but conch shell is
Okay,
good.
that's okay.
No
Okay.
disturbance. Yeah, conch shell is good. Okay. So I'm not sure if Auntie Rashmi wants to say anything. Auntie Rashmi, आपको कुछ कहना है? Maybe not. Okay. So then, okay, we'll begin chapter 17 today. Now, Neha, you had put up a very good question. That Chitraketu, your devotee, seeing the Lord himself, how come he becomes a demon? Right? You're very right in having wondering this, because
Yeah.
we are hearing pure devotee goes back to Godhead, and here now we heard it was Vritrasur. So let's see what happened. Mother Parvati curses Chitraketu. The 17th chapter is summarized as follows. This chapter describes Chitraketu's receiving the body of an asura or demon because of joking with Lord Shiva. So after personally talking with the Supreme Personality of Godhead, King Chitraketu enjoyed life in his airplane with the women of the Vidyadhar planet. Engaging in the congregational chanting of the glories of the Lord, he began flying his plane and traveling in outer space. One day, while traveling like this, he wandered into the bowers of Sumeru mountain, where he came upon Lord Shiva embracing Parvati, surrounded by an assembly of Siddhas, Charanas, and great sages. Seeing Lord Shiva in that situation, Citraketu laughed very loudly. But Parvati became very angry at him and cursed him. Because of this curse, Citraketu later appeared as the demon Vritrasur. Citraketu, however, was not at all afraid of Parvati's curse, and thus he spoke as follows. Everyone in human society enjoys happiness and distress according to his past deeds, and in this way travels in the material world. Therefore, no one is responsible for his happiness and distress. One is controlled by the influence of material nature in the material world, yet one thinks himself the doer of everything. So, as Lord Krishna also says in Bhagavad Gita, right? Ahankara vimudatma kartaham iti manyate. That the things are going on, the modes are making us act, but under the false ego, we are thinking, I am the doer. And in this way, we get karma because we are thinking, I'm the doer. So then we get implicated in this law of karma. So, in this material world, which is made of the external energy of the Supreme Lord, one is sometimes cursed and sometimes favored. And thus, he sometimes enjoys in the upper planetary systems and sometimes suffers in the lower planets. But all these situations are the same because they are within this material world. None of these positions has any factual existence, for all of them are temporary. So we can see he's a great devotee, because he can understand that there may be reversal, there may be happiness, there may be reversal, but all the situations are temporary in this material world. The Supreme Personality of Godhead is the ultimate controller because the material world is created, maintained, and annihilated under his control, while he nonetheless remains neutral to these different transformations of the material world in time and space. The material external energy of the Supreme Personality of Godhead is in charge of this material world. The Lord helps the world by creating situations for the living entities within it. So the Lord created the world and He's given, the superintendent is Durga Devi. He's given her the charge that you manage. Like how a CEO will open a company and appoint a general manager to manage the company. But the rules are made by the CEO. The manager just has to follow the rules. So the Lord created this material world. It's His laws going on. He's given the supervision to Durga Devi. He's given the charge to Durga Devi. When Citraketu spoke in this way, all the members in the great assembly in which Lord Shiva and Parvati were present were astonished. Then Lord Shiva began speaking about the devotees of the Lord. A devotee is neutral in all conditions of life, whether in the heavenly planets or hellish planets, whether liberated from the material world or conditioned by it, and whether blessed with happiness or subjected to distress. These are all merely dualities created by the external energy. Being influenced by the external energy, the living entity accepts a gross and subtle material body. And in this illusory position, he apparently suffers misery, although everyone is part and parcel of the Supreme Lord. The so-called demigods consider themselves independent lords, and in this way they are misled from understanding that all living entities are part of the Supreme. This chapter concludes by glorifying the devotee and the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So we can see that Citraketu, so tolerant, he's completely understood the knowledge which he received. And so he's practically applying the knowledge. He's enjoying here in an aeroplane like the Vidyadhar, and then he's going everywhere. And now he's cursed to become a demon, but he's equal. Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, be equal in happiness and distress. victory or defeat. And we can see that Citraketu is actually applying the knowledge what he heard. Shri Shukavacha
Shri Shukavacha
Yatas Chantarhito Nantas
Yatasya Anharita Ananta
Tasye Kritva Dishe Namaha
Asya Kritva Dike Namaha
Vidyadharash Chitraketush
Vidyadhara Chitraketu
Chachara Gagane Charaha.
Chachara Gagani.
Srila Sukadev Goswami said, after offering obeisances to the direction from which Ananta, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, had disappeared, Chitraketu began traveling in outer space as the head of the Vidyadharas. Salaksham Varsha Lakshanam
Laksham Varsham Pranam
Yahata Balendriyaha
Vyahata Bala Indriya
Stuyamano Mahayogi
Tuyamano
Munibhi Siddhacharane
Muni Bhi Siddhacharane
Kulachalendra Dronishu
Kulachalendra Tronishu
Nana Sankalpa Siddhishu
Nana Sankalpa Siddhishu
Rime Vidyadhar Stribhir
Reme Vidyadharastri
Gapayan Harim Ishwaram.
Gapayan
Being praised by great sages and saints and by the inhabitants of Siddhalok and Charanalok, Chitraketu, the most powerful mystic yogi, wandered about enjoying life for millions of years. With bodily strength and senses free from deterioration, he traveled within the valleys of Sumeru mountain, which is the place of perfection for various kinds of mystic power. In those valleys, he enjoyed life with the women of Vidyadhar Lok by chanting the glories of the Supreme Lord Hari. It is to be understood that Maharaj Chitraketu, although surrounded by beautiful women from Vidyadhar Lok, did not forget to glorify the Lord by chanting the holy name of the Lord. It has been proved in many places that one who is not contaminated by any material condition, who is a pure devotee, engaged in chanting the glories of the Lord, should be understood to be perfect. So Prabhupada here is reminding us that although it's mentioned that Chitraketu is having the association of so many beautiful women of Vidyadhar Lok and he's going in his airplane everywhere, he is a pure devotee of the Lord and so he is perfect. He's always chanting the glories of the Lord, means he's always remembering the Lord. Constantly he's chanting the Lord, the glories of the Lord. So he's always remembering. And that's the pure devotee. So let's see. So we should stop here. I'm not sure if we'll have time to finish this. So we'll stop here then for today.
Yeah.
Okay. So another interesting chapter coming up.
Yeah. I think Bhagavatam is completely so interesting. When we finish one part, the next part is more interesting than the previous part, you know? Like, it is so much to learn, to read, to understand. There is so much.
Yeah, so true. So true.
Hare Krishna, Shilpa.
Hare Krishna, Sneha.
Hare Krishna.
Krishna. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Can you hear me?
We
Yes,
can hear
yes.
you.
Yes.
Nehaji, we
Can
can
hear
hear
you.
you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm just wondering that what was the reason of him laughing at uh, at uh, at the women there, right? The gun.
At At Lord
There
Shiva.
was
He laughed at Lord Shiva.
Lord Shiva.
So,
He loved the
yeah.
Lord Shiva.
So, as we read in the introduction by Srila Prabhupada, that in detail we are going to hear, but in the introduction, Srila Prabhupada says that Citraketu said that we are bound by the modes of nature. Everything is happening under the law, will of the Lord. You know? So it was the Lord's will that
Okay.
because he's a pure devotee actually.
Yeah.
Right? He's a pure
Right.
devotee, but he's acting under the Lord's will to be an example for us, right? Otherwise,
Right.
otherwise we will not understand that how a devotee can be so equal. Here he is the king of the Vidyadharas, so much opulence, heavenly planets, association of such saintly people. And so he's not affected by it. He's remembering the Lord. Now he's going to be cursed, becoming Vritrasur, still remembering the Lord. So we can see how a pure devotee is not affected by the external. As he himself is saying that we may be changed, having a different situation, a different body, but that's all temporary. It's all external, all illusion.
So his laughing also was due to, it's because of the will of the Lord, laughing at Lord
He's here.
Shiva.
See, what we
Yeah,
read in
I'm
the
just wondering.
introduction.
Yeah,
Yeah, see, we read in the introduction that
introduction. Yes.
Citraketu is saying that
Yeah.
Citraketu is
Yeah.
saying that
Everything.
it's modes of nature.
Nature.
And
Yes.
modes
Yeah.
of nature is actually under the will of the Lord. So it is the will of the Lord so that these pastimes can happen
To teach us
to teach
also.
us. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, to teach us. Otherwise, how would we learn?
Mm.
Somebody has to become an example for us to
Example.
learn,
Yeah. Right.
you know. So at least that is the way I look at it. Yeah.
Or maybe, we'll be reading further.
We'll read more. Yeah.
More,
But
yeah.
also we have to understand that Krishna, he uses his devotees to teach us.
Yes, yeah.
Prabhupada used to say that when a mother-in-law wants to teach the daughter-in-law something, she doesn't tell her directly, but she tells the
Yeah.
daughter that you
Daughter,
do
yeah.
like this.
Right.
So Krishna is always engaging his devotees in these different situations so we can learn. Otherwise, how would we learn?
Yeah.
You know?
True.
And
So,
Hare Krishna, and then Shilpa I think he was really more fortunate because even as Vritrasur, he saw
learned.
face to face. He saw Lord face to face.
Yeah.
oh, did he? I don't remember that.
He did, right? Or was it only the Indra? I remember that even Vritrasur saw, no?
I
Lord
don't
came in
remember
front of
reading
him.
that.
So then that was only Indra. That Indra saw the Lord, not
Indra saw the
Vritrasur.
Lord. Yeah.
So
Vritrasur, I don't
Vritrasur just
remember.
gave the
He saw
knowledge. So Vritrasur
Huh?
just gave the knowledge to Indra.
Yeah, but we can see that Citraketu, such a great personality that we are hearing about him in Bhagavatam, that he's Citraketu, then he's becoming Vritrasur. So many lessons to learn. First, we can see some things that we can learn that he's equal. He's king of Vidyadhar and he's Vritrasur. He doesn't care. He's saying that's just anyway temporary. I'm the soul. I'm a part and parcel of Krishna. So I'm going to continue engaging in devotional service. Doesn't matter which body I am in. So it gives also courage to other aspiring devotees who are people who are trying to become devotees, that, the externals shouldn't matter. What actually one continues with is engaging in devotional service. Okay? And there was another point which I forgot. It's caught my memory. Well, that is one way to see it, and I really forgot now what else I was gonna say. Anyway, as we read more, then we can speak more about it.
Yeah, like also how we say that don't see the outer covering, the body of the person, but
Yeah,
see the see
Yeah,
his
because
heart,
we
right?
heard,
Yeah.
Yeah,
yeah,
the
because
demon.
Chitraketu is saying that we are going to hear it because Prabhupada mentioned in the introduction. We are going to hear that Chitraketu is saying that this is just body, and so it's all temporary, it's all illusion. But he is actually, he is a pure devotee, so he identifies himself as a
Hmm.
eternal servant of the Lord. So he's engaging in devotional service no matter which planet he is in, which body he is in. It doesn't matter. He's just continuing his business of glorifying the Lord.
Like how the devotees say that no matter where you keep me, Krishna, I should always remember you and never forget you.
Yeah,
No matter where
always
you keep
engage me in
me.
your
Yeah.
devotional service.
Your
Yes,
service. Yeah.
yeah. So, so by this Chitraketu pastime, we can learn so many things.
Mm.
He's teaching, he's being an example that don't be so worried of the externals, just continue engaging in devotional service.
Mm.
Mm.
And like this is also assures that it's okay. You can make mistake, but never forget Krishna. It's okay because we are all human. We can make mistakes,
Yeah.
and that is because of the modes. But then we should never forget Krishna. That is the most important thing, no matter what.
And another, we can see that how devotional service is not lost, as
Yes,
Chitraketu
it is
is
not.
engaging
Yes,
in devotional service, and as
yeah.
Vritrasur is remembering the Lord also.
Mm.
This is what the other point I wanted to say.
Yes,
Yes, thank you. As you said that
yes.
remember the Lord. So
Mm.
because we are hearing that in Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says that even you do little bhakti, that's never lost. And here we can see practically in the life of Chitraketu that it is really not lost.
Mm.
He's completely still engaging in devotional service.
And one more point, Shilpaji, as you mentioned that Prabhupada said that when you get self-realized, give it to others. So Chitraketu Maharaj is giving it to others, the Vidyadhar ladies. He is giving it.
Yeah.
And even as Dhritarashtra, he is giving.
Yeah. And to us, we are hearing
Yes.
also.
Yes, to us, definitely. But even in that present moment, he was giving it to, he was
Yes.
sharing it with others,
That's
not
right.
just
Yeah,
keeping it
because
to him.
that's right, because it was mentioned that when he was there with the ladies also, what he's
Yes.
doing is chanting the glories of the Lord.
Yes.
Yeah, true. Yes, that's
So,
true.
so much to learn.
Yeah. Yes, thank you. Thank you
So
all.
beautiful. Thank you to you.
Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Shri
Yeah,
Prabhupada ki jai, Gaur
yeah,
Bhakta Vrinda ki jai. Hare
yeah.